We shall now start the evening prayer with another story, a story of Nama's glory. It concerns a couple, a German couple, who lived near the ashram for 17 to 18 years, devoted to Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, and their master, Mr. Lee. Volker and Ute. They had gone to Germany for a holiday from Tiruvannamalai for his annual vacation. In Germany, he, with his wife and 2 children, were traveling by car when they ran into a heavy traffic jam. Volker became very angry at the delay and decided to try a diversion route. But alas, there was also a traffic jam which delayed them by more than an hour, which of course it irritated everyone. Finally, they somehow reached the 6-lane highway where Volker chose to drive in the second fastest lane. They were speeding ahead, vehicles on either side. Volker was traveling at about 150 kilometers per hour. In Germany, there is no speed limit on the highways. Suddenly, Volker and Ute saw a small car from the left lane, that is from the first lane, heading into their lane, that is the second lane. Just ahead of them, a large car on the right was also trying to enter into their lane at the same time. Volker and his wife Ute, to their horror, saw the cars on either side speeding up towards a collision course just ahead of them. And they screamed, "Yogi Ramsuratkumar," at the top of their voices as the cars crashed. About 200 feet away, because of the collision and the high speed with which the cars had run, they spun off in opposite directions at dizzying speeds, making another truck which was coming that way go zigzag. And the truck in turn unsettled many of the other vehicles. So you can see, you can imagine the confusion that was created, and the cars moving as they liked. They seemed to have a mind of their own, uncontrolled by anybody. In the meantime, the lane ahead of Volker was clear for a while, and so Volker's car shot through, and he halted his car a little ahead and ran back to see what damage had been done due to the accident. There were 2 women traveling in the small car whose engine had been crushed. The car was a wreck, but the 2 women were miraculously unhurt and were sitting dazed in the wrecked car. Volker offered to send his wife Ute, who is a qualified nurse, to attend on them. Meanwhile, another lady in a car who stopped behind them had come there. She said that she was a doctor and could handle the situation herself. So there were miraculously no injuries at all to the occupants of the other car, which had collided with the small car. So it was all hell let loose, and yet the damage happened only to the vehicles and not to the people. What a wonder! It became the talk of the town that, of course, nobody knew that Mr. Volker and his wife Ute screamed Yogi Ramsuratkumar, and it was Yogi Ramsuratkumar who adjusted the whole lot in such a way that whatever was meant to happen to people around got shifted to the vehicles. You see the glory of the name that they screamed just in time, though they could not help the situation. They did help by screaming Yogi Ramsuratkumar, which saved every life around, despite all the confusion that was caused. So, dear devotees of Bhagwan, let us remember once again the glory of the name and what it can do, and chant more and more and more, and keep offering them at his lotus feet. And pray with intensity, wholeheartedly. Another story of Nama's glory. One lady from Madurai by name Meena had been suffering from severe pain in the ear for 13 years. Not just 1 year or 2 years, 13 years. Many doctors and many treatments, but all in vain. If anything, now the pain has become more acute than ever before. What was more, the pain in the ear was constantly accompanied by severe headache as well, making it intolerable. When she approached the doctor, he said, "Oh, it has been there for so long and now has intensified. There could be something wrong with your brain. Let us have a CT scan done and then start the treatment." Now that was a shock to the whole family. Needless to say how agonized they were. At this time, that was nearly 5 years back, by Providence, Meena and family came to Tiruvannamalai on their way back to Madurai from some place. As Meena did not know anything about Bhagwan Yogi Ramsuratkumar at that time, she went straight to Arunachaleshwara mandir. There, in a mandap, she saw the photos of the great masters, Sri Seshadri Swami, Sri Ramana Bhagwan, and Yogi Ramsuratkumar Bhagwan, and a few others. Her sister told her to look at those great masters' eyes intensely. Then she would be able to feel their divinity. Somehow, Meena was drawn to Yogi Ramsuratkumar's picture. She began to gaze at the eyes of Bhagavan intensely. Few minutes passed. Suddenly, she felt Bhagavan from the picture entering straight into her. She felt ecstatic. And with that experience, extraordinary experience, she returned to Madurai. There, she came to know more and more about Yogi Ramsuratkumar and his glorious Nama. With great joy and enthusiasm, she began to repeat his name. One day, a friend by name Meena Ramanathan invited Meena to come home for a Nama Bhajan session by Sri Masanamuthu. Very happily, Meena hastened to attend. While the Nama was going on, Meena despite her great agony of pain in the ear and head, began to repeat the name with joy and tears of agony and joy of the name. Suddenly, she had something like a vision. Bhagavan came down from the photograph, sat near her, put his finger into her ear and drew something very black from that, and then threw it out. The vision disappeared and she felt a thrill in her body and became ecstatic. What was more, there was no more pain in the ear and the head. She thought it was a temporary relief, but for the past 5 years, the pain had not returned at all, proving that it was no vision but true experience, a divine gift of his glorious name. So, dear friends of Bhagwan, let us all chant more and more of this wonderful divine name and pray intensely. Today, we shall start the evening prayer with another story of glory, Nama's glory, Swami's glory. Everybody who comes to the ashram knows very well Sri Vallikannu, who is there at the counter in the office. Now 1.5, 2 years back, he wanted to go to Kailash. He's a Shiva Bhakta. He goes to Arunachaleshwara mandir every day in the morning. And 2 years back, he had an intense desire to visit Kailash. So he found one Om Yatra services and paid 75,000 rupees. Not only he, there were so many other people who trusted this Om Yatra and paid 75, 80, 85,000. And then, after some time, they found out that it was a fake one, and the one who collected all this money ran away with that. And there was no program at all. So by the time they came to know about it, these people, some 60 of them, could do nothing about it. They felt very bad that they have lost money, but then what could they do about it? It's very, very difficult these days to get back money at all from anybody, especially one who has planned very well to cheat people. So what happened? He came to Pradhan Mandir, he prayed to Bhagwan, and he told me also about that. And then I gave him some notebooks to write. Just keep writing Bhagwan's Nama until you get the money. And of course he started to write. He was also sending prayer letter every week, one, which I would read out to Bhagwan. So we were attacking the problem with intense Nama chanting, Nama writing and prayer. So a few months went on. And in the meantime, that man was caught and he was thrown into jail. And then somehow, after some time, he came out also. And the Nama chanting continued, Nama writing continued, the prayer continued. And then surprisingly, to the delight of Mr. Vallikannu, this man came into contact with Vallikannu and said he would send the first installment of money. He would return. He promised he would return the money. Of course, none of us believed it, but still we believed in the Nama and its glory. So the Nama chanting, the prayer went on. And true to his word, this man returned some money by the first installment. And within almost 6 to 8 months, he returned all the 75,000 rupees. Unbelievable. Vallikannu said that no one else got back the money. He was the only one who got it back. So all that Nama chanting, all that Nama writing and praying did not go waste. It achieved the impossible. And of course, Vallikannu, being a devotee of Bhagwan, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, he knew it is by Bhagwan's kripa that he got the money back when no one else did. So he gave all that money as donation to the ashram itself. So today I chose this story because it concerns money. And he not only lost the money, you see, he was inspired to go to Kailash. He paid the money, and then by Bhagwan's grace, by Bhagwan's Nama's glory, he got it back. And the Nama not only got the money back to him, it made him donate the money also. It made him do further punya, a meritorious deed. He offered it as the money offered to Shiva. So, this is another story which proves the glory of the name. Such is the glory of the name that today, being Akshaya Tritiya day, whatever good karmas that we do will multiply, and all our meritorious deeds will pay back in time, and what is more, it would multiply our spiritual intention as well, our spiritual practices. And so, dear devotees of Bhagwan, knowing what this Nama can do, there are several incidents, ever so many incidents which can prove again and again how the lost jewel, lost money could come back to us by His grace by merely chanting His name. Only thing is we have to be a little patient and wait for the right moment, and the grace would choose the moment to return all that we have lost. So today we have to make a special prayer to the wish-fulfilling tree, the Kalpataru, Kamadhenu, Yogi Ramsuratkumar, that he must help all the medical researchers to find at the earliest the right medicine, the right vaccine, the most potent, powerful vaccine that could kill the coronavirus instantly and free the entire humanity from its rakshasic clutches.